Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new here. Today I wanted to share with you guys how we are going to be budgeting for or spending our tax refund that we got earlier this week. It is currently Friday, March 10th, and my husband also did text me yesterday morning that he did receive a work bonus and that it was already in our checking account. So I'm going to be budgeting for that as well. And as far as what our priority is, where that money is going to be going to, my husband and I did talk about it. We decided that number one would go towards maxing out his Roth IRA for the rest of the year, so we don't have to worry about that. And then the second one was to continue building our emergency fund, so putting a chunk in there as well. And then the third one is to put a chunk towards my debt. So if you didn't catch my live, I did talk about how I went back into debt because of some just poor financial decisions I made in my business last year. So I'm definitely paying for that now. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later and show you the debt tracker that's in my spreadsheet here. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and just put in the amounts here under income for, I'm going to separate these out. So federal, state, and then work bonus. Oops. And then for federal, we did receive a good chunk of money, which I'm so grateful for. I always assume it's going to be less. I believe my husband, I believe I asked my husband a few years ago to take a look at his tax withholding to make sure that we are receiving more in his paycheck and then less in our tax refund. But I'm honestly okay with receiving this. I honestly don't know what his withholdings are. I have to ask him. But anyways, so back to the budget. Here under the plan section, now it shows that we have $9,019 to budget for. And if I scroll down here under savings, I did have amounts in here already from what I originally wanted to save, but I didn't want to make the money moves just yet because I knew we were going to get our tax refund direct deposited into our checking account. I just wasn't sure which paycheck budget it was going into. Sooner the better, so I'm glad that we got it already. So I'm going to first, number one thing is max out my husband's Roth IRA. I already have the amount in mind that's left that needs to be moved over to his Roth IRA account because I know that in January we contributed $200, February $500. In January though, I did make a mistake where I accidentally transferred $200 from his Roth IRA into our checking account versus the other way around. So when I transferred it back, it got counted as if I was making a contribution, which technically I wasn't. I was just putting it back. So we have technically will only be contributing $6,300 into his Roth. Anyway, so going back here, it's going to be $5,600 that we need to move over to completely max out his Roth IRA. And looking up here, now I have $3,400 that needs to be plugged into the rest of our savings and extra debt payment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split the 3419 in half. So I get $1,709.50, which I'm just going to put, just going to round it up and put 1710, and this is going to go towards my Barclay credit card. And then now, so 1709.65. So I'm going to do plus $2,084. I'm just going to put 85 here. I think that should be right. And so now we're just down 35 cents, which I usually, when it's off here, I'll play around with my cushion amount so that I can see that it's zero here. So here I'm just going to put 152.07. And going back down here, I do know for sure we wanted a total of $300 into giving this first paycheck budget. I won't get into the details of that right now. Maybe when I close out the budget, I'll talk more about it. But now I need to take out $250, which I should have just done this in the first place. So I'm going to take the $250 out of the emergency fund since we're doing pretty good as far as saving or building our emergency fund so far this year. So 1835 here, so that should zero everything out, and now every dollar has a purpose. So it looks like I totally messed up. I put it into my food budget. Like, why did I do that? So not here. What am I thinking? Um, Here. We just delete that and see. So 1810 is going here. And I think that's it. I forgot. My husband did text me. He wanted to save $150 from his bonus to buy some fishing gear. Him and my older son have been going fishing. Well, technically they've only been once so far this year, but they do plan to go on more. My husband did buy his fishing license already. So, and my older son seems like he's interested and wanting to learn how to fish. So I think that's kind of nice for them. And I told him whatever he buys, just put on a credit card. I'll put the money in his savings, and then once we get that statement, we'll pay for it that way. And yeah, so now we are zero over here, and just going back to our debt tracker. So when I made my spreadsheets, I was completely debt free, and then now that I have debt, I'm actually using it. So what I've been doing is adding on the amount that I've been getting charged every month. We did have, or my card was 0% interest until December, but since I didn't pay off the card, my business didn't make enough money to pay off the card completely. I am now paying for it with the interest charge. The goal is to pay it off by April. We'll see if we can get to that. And yeah, so hopefully we can. It looks like in March I'll be able to put an extra like $2,200 towards my debt. So that'll definitely take a chunk out, because let's see, so 1710 plus 500, so $2,000 pretty much. So it'll be pretty much half. So, which is awesome. And that is pretty much it for that quick budget. I'm so grateful now that we don't really have all of our debt like we used to back in 2018, that we're able to plug these into our savings versus making all kinds of extra debt payments. Before I end this video, I do want to say thank you so much for those of you who have purchased any one of my spreadsheet templates. I do appreciate all of you and all of your feedback. The most popular one is the biweekly paycheck budget, and I do know that when I took a look at my analytics, that a lot of my traffic and sales came from YouTube traffic. So I think that's probably because I like to share my budget using my spreadsheet. So I think that's how I get my sales. So yeah, thank you so much for your support. If you do want a simple version that will just allow you to plan out where you want your paycheck to go, I do have a free one. It just doesn't look as crazy as this one, but you can still budget your paycheck or whatever you want to do with that. So I'll leave the link for that down below in case you're interested. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just transfer everything out as soon as I end this video. Thank you so much for watching, especially for watching till the end, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye.